Everyone, I wanted to take a minute to talk about what we did at Disney on our second night. So after our first morning of Magic Kingdom Park, and then after our lunch at Disney Springs, the Boathouse restaurant, we decided to go back to the room for a while. It was probably around 2:30 by the time we left Disney Springs, and we did take the bus from Disney Springs back to our resort. That was one thing that we had to learn before we went there, that to get to Disney Springs, you can't get there from the parks. You can only get to and from Disney Springs from the resorts. So when we left Magic Kingdom, what we did was we went to the Contemporary and we got a lift to bring us over to Disney Springs. And then when we went back to our hotel, which was the Dolphin Resort, we went back using the Disney bus service, which was really convenient if you're going from the resorts. And we relaxed for a little while, and we knew that we were going to go to Animal Kingdom that evening. I had made a reservation, I would say probably about 2 months out, for Yak Yeti at 5:45. And after Magic Kingdom, I was also able to snag a fast pass for Navi River Journey, and that was, I think, between 7 and 8 p.m. So we ended up going on Navi River Journey around 7:30. And after Yak and Yeti, we went over to Africa, where we went on safari, which we've never been on the safari before. I really recommend going on the safari in the evening. It's a little cooler, of course, and the sun was setting and the animals were out and they were active, which was nice. They weren't, in the middle of the day sleeping. And it said it was a 20-minute wait, but it was actually, in reality, about 10 minutes, maybe even less. So it was a very easy wait, and I think it lasted about 15-20 minutes. Amanda might be shaking her head, no, really, it's 10 minutes, but it felt like a good long ride. We enjoyed our time there and learning a lot about the animals. And then when we got off of there, you'll see in the next part of the video, we went over to Pandora and the Navi River Journey, because we had never seen Pandora all lit up at night, and we're like, okay, we're definitely doing it this trip. We're going to Animal Kingdom at night. We're gonna see Pandora lit up, and it was so gorgeous. And it was funny because I was watching other people's vlogs, and some of them were saying a few months before we went, oh, they're cordoning off all these areas and they're repainting some of the pavement. So I think that Disney went in and revitalized some of the glow-in-the-dark paint that was around the place. So it was really bright and pretty when we got out of Navi River Journey and the sun had set completely. And then we went over to Everest, and that was only a 10-minute wait, so it was actually more like a walk-on in reality. It got stuck, but it didn't get stuck for very long. It was only about maybe 30 seconds, but we were sort of on an incline. We're like, okay, is it ready to go yet? So we were kind of like, okay, I think we're done for the night. I think that's a sign to tell us it's time to go home. And this was probably about 9:30, and we're pretty early sleepers anyway, so we're kind of old that way, lame, whatever. We like to go to bed early, so we left Animal Kingdom probably around 9:30, quarter to 10, took the bus back to the resort because we had an early day the next morning, which was our early magic hours at Hollywood Studios. I got reservations for Yak and Yeti, which was one of the first things we wanted to do when we got into Animal Kingdom Park that night. So we had reservations for 5:45. We got to the park around 5 o'clock, just maybe a little bit after 5, and it allowed us to take a nice leisurely stroll to the back of the park, which is where Yak and Yeti is. Yak and Yeti, for those of you that don't know, is located in Asia, at Animal Kingdom Park in Disney World. And I'll try to show you here on my iPad a little bit. It's right back here in this area. So if you go past the Tree of Life and around, it's right back there. It's a really nice stroll to get back there. What I did before we went to Orlando was I became a member of the Landry's Dinner Club, which allowed you, it costs $25 up front to become a member of the Landry's Club, but it immediately gives you a $25 entry credit or joining credit, let's say, and then it also gives you $25 for the whole month of your birthday. So you have 30 days to spend the $25 credit there. So I was able to use that $25 credit at Yak Yeti, which was definitely worth it because you also get with that VIP treatment, which they really did treat us very well. The manager kept coming out and checking on us, and you also get priority seating. Even if you don't have a reservation, you're able to get seated ahead of a lot of other customers, which is excellent, especially in the evening time, because it is definitely a busy restaurant. There was already a line out the door when we arrived. You'll see in some of the pictures. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the food that we had and our experience with that. We really enjoyed it. We liked the service a lot. We liked the atmosphere a lot. We both got sort of specialty drinks. So I quite like that desert pear flavor that they were using. And we had the dim sum basket to share, and I'll show you the menu here in a second. You can get the menu through the either My Disney app or the My Disney experience online. And that one was $16.79, and it came with pork pot stickers, chicken sumai, cha su bao, and shrimp sumai. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing a little bit of that, but I think I got most of it, and that was really, really good. We enjoyed it a lot. I think one of the funny things is we enjoyed our starters maybe a little bit more than we enjoyed the main courses. I had the duck, the half roasted duckling in barbecue plum sauce, and I kind of thought it was going to be more plummy, like more hoisin sauce. Unfortunately, it was definitely more barbecue, just sort of regular barbecue sauce with maybe a hint of plum. So if you like that kind of thing and you like that really Asian flavor, definitely ask for a side of hoisin sauce. I think that would have made it really, really excellent. And then Michael had their special, which was snapper, and you can have it multiple ways. He got it grilled. He said afterwards it was really tasty fish, very flaky. I don't like fish, but even when I had a bite, it was very good. It was not fishy at all, and it was very tender and flaky. But he said he should have gotten it blackened and pan-seared. He said that crunch on top would have really made it better. So, you know, we live and we learn. We'll definitely go back and try that. And his snapper had some quinoa and stir-fried vegetables, which were very tasty as well. And then he also had a side of firecracker shrimp. So when you get fish, you can get different sort of toppings. So it's not as expensive as buying the, say, appetizer and eating it along with. Now, usually you would dump it on top of your fish and eat it all together, sort of like mushrooms and onions on a steak or something. But we just ate it off the side, and that firecracker shrimp was really good. Okay, so here's the menu for Yak Yeti, and I'll just sort of scroll through it, and you feel free to pause at any point that you want to. That was the dim sum basket that we had. And then I had the, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, bak tapur duck, which was very tender, very flavorful. And then Michael had their special of the night, which was the snapper. And you can see some pictures of that momentarily. The Landry's Club was definitely worth doing because we got really good service. Now, I don't know if their service is just always that good, but they definitely, the manager made sure to come over several times. In addition, our server was just great. So I was really happy with all of that, and we left feeling full and extremely well taken care of.